Hello, my name is Sean Earp, and I'm a Program Manager with the Global Partner Services team at Microsoft. And today I will be providing you with an overview of the new Office 365. Today's session will be a 100-level introduction to the new Office. Future webcasts will dive into the details of licensing and planning for and deploying Office 365, but today's webcast will focus primarily on the features and the plans that are available with the new Office. As we started planning for the next version of Office, we interviewed our customers about the challenges that they're facing and heard a few consistent themes. For one thing, we found a large percentage of today's workforce spends at least part of their day away from their desk. While work still gets done on the corporate-issued PC and the cubicle, workers are just as likely to be working from a coffee shop or from home on whatever mobile device they have, whether it's a smartphone or a tablet. At the same time, when your business is growing, you have employees working from different office locations, from client locations, or out traveling. These employees still need to access their files and collaborate with their coworkers, even when they're out on the road. If they're not using the same set of tools, remote workers will have trouble connecting with everyone else, which can cause inefficiency and lost productivity. Even if they are using the same tools, if the tools themselves are not built to work natively with each other, such as using separate point solutions for email, collaboration, instant messaging, or conferencing, you're not maximizing your people's time, requiring IT resources to build, manage, and support that integration. Those IT departments end up tied to the burden of managing their servers, providing basic services such as messaging to their users, rather than contributing to the business by focusing on more strategic activities. Finally, we heard that our customers are frequently torn between wanting the best technology for their business while still balancing their budgets. A recurring theme was do more, but with smaller IT budgets and headcounts. Even when you want to upgrade, it's a high capital expense to buy a new server, in addition to the ongoing expenses of operating and maintaining the services. Given all these challenges, what our customers told us is that they're really looking for technology that fits the needs of their business. We also took a look at the ways in which the world was changing. In our increasingly mobile world, analysts predict that there will be over 1 billion smartphones in use by 2016. They expect that over 126 million tablets will be used in the U.S. alone. At the same time, the vast majority of the world's online population engages in social networking. Employees want to be able to share and collaborate at work like they do at home, and businesses would love to foster that collaboration while retaining control over the information that is shared publicly. Finally, we saw that over half of our enterprise customers were on the road to the cloud. Our strategy at Microsoft is to provide the best experiences across your devices while giving you the controls you need to implement cloud services on your own terms. Our productivity vision covers all of the core workloads: messaging, voice and video, content management, social, and business intelligence. These workloads support our Office experiences and help keep your users productive. Introducing the new Office 365. It's a cloud-optimized productivity service hosted by Microsoft and designed specifically for the needs of today's businesses. Our discussions with our customers have shown that for businesses, there are 4 areas that are top of mind. Office 365 provides the ability to manage the mobile workforce and allow employees to work from anywhere while providing them access to the latest and best productivity tools while on the go. The ability for users, no matter where they're located, to work together and collaborate on projects. IT managers wear many hats and want to manage the growing demands of their users and workforce with as little effort as possible while being certain that the security of their organizational data has not been compromised. In addition to the services you may already be familiar with, Exchange and SharePoint and Lync Online, the Office Client is now available as a cloud-enabled service, along with Project Online and the new Visio Pro for Office 365. I won't spend too long on this slide, but feel free to pause the video if you're interested in reading through the details of each component of Office 365. I'd like to highlight that Office 365 offers a financially backed service level agreement of 99.9% uptime, 24/7 support for IT pros, and built-in geo-redundancy for our data centers. Speaking of our data centers, Microsoft has invested over $2.3 billion in our cloud infrastructure. We have redundancy built in at every level, from data storage to network components to backup power to internet connections. In the event of a major disaster such as a hurricane, we can fail over services to an entirely different data center that is hundreds of miles away with virtually no impact to end users. These data centers are located across the Americas, Europe, and the Asia-Pacific region, and are highly secure and built from the ground up to be environmentally sustainable. Before I dive into features that apply to specific components of the service, such as Exchange Online, I wanted to spend some time talking about the features that apply across the new Office 365. Office 365 includes the latest versions of all of the familiar Office applications, Word, PowerPoint, Excel, and Outlook, that you expect to use on your PCs and on your Macs. In addition, it also provides access to certain Office applications that are optimized for tablets and smartphones. For example, Outlook for Windows tablets is optimized for touch experience. It makes it easier for users to interact and compose and manage their email on the go. Lync and OneNote for Windows phones as well as iOS and Android devices provides the rich experience that users expect on their mobile phones. For each Office 365 licensed user, you can use Office on up to 5 PCs or Macs and 5 mobile devices. Across the service, functionality such as the SharePoint Newsfeed, Yammer, Outlook Web App, and SharePoint Team sites have been built as touch-ready mobile sites built on web standards so that the core functionality of these applications are available regardless of the type of mobile device that you are using. Additionally, we have simplified our management portal for Office 365 so that even customers with little or no IT can be up and running with the service very, very quickly. For our customers that do have IT departments and who may need to automate repetitive tasks such as adding hundreds or thousands of users to the service, assigning licenses, or performing customized reporting on usage, we do provide remote PowerShell access to the service so that IT pros can script tasks that would otherwise take too long to do manually through the portal. Now I'd like to show you a demo of the admin console, which, while it's very simple, is also extremely powerful. Before I forget, in the top right-hand corner of the Support tab are a number of other support resources such as tools. So you may occasionally encounter issues such as Outlook clients not able to connect to the service, and this is where you can download some of the tools that have been created to help you troubleshoot these issues on your own. It's always useful to run through these tools so that you can collect any information that may be needed before you submit a service request. Quite often you can solve the problem on your own just by using a tool such as the Remote Connectivity Analyzer, which is a great tool for troubleshooting an issue you may encounter with a single sign-on, with ActiveSync if emails maybe are not being synced out to your mobile devices, to the Exchange Web Services. And then the Outlook connectivity is another big one that I use pretty frequently. If your Outlook clients are not discovering the service or syncing, you can run through some of the tests here, and this will usually point you to a resolution or get you close enough so that if you do need to contact support, they can help you out very quickly. You are looking at the Admin Center for the new Office 365. The address is up in the address bar here. And on the landing page, you can see most of the information that you want to see right at a glance. The current health of the service, as to whether Exchange or Lync is up or down, can be useful if your users are calling in and reporting an issue. You can see if it's known here. Over on the right-hand side, you can do many of the things you would typically do as an admin, such as reset user passwords, add new users, or assign user licenses. The link to download software is also available here. Over on the left, I'll start my way at the top and work my way down. The setup option will allow us to go through and add our own domain to the service. So in this case, I'm using seandemo.onmicrosoft.com. But if I wanted to add my own domain, such as contoso.com, so that users could access my email or my website through that domain, I could do so here. In this case, I won't. Users and groups is where I would, of course, add users or groups. I can manually add them here through the plus sign, add in the information about them, and then assign licenses. In this case, I'm already using up all of my 25 trial licenses, so I won't do that. You can see the username by default is this, again, seandemo.onmicrosoft.com. You can add other names that tie into their domain once you've added a domain. Over on the right, you can also see that the status is in the cloud. So all of these particular users I have created in the cloud. They're managed in Windows Azure Active Directory, as opposed to some more complicated setups where maybe I synchronize an identity that's in an on-premises Active Directory up to the cloud. Licensing, over on the left, shows what I have licenses to. It is possible to mix and match licenses. So you may have some users that have an Enterprise E3 licenses, and then you may have some users out in a factory that just have a kiosk plan, and you would see all of the subscriptions that you have purchased up here that you could then use to assign licenses to your users. The service settings is where you can get very deep into the various services here and change the settings. So for mail, you can configure your anti-malware policies, your data loss protection policies. You can look at mail flow and see how things are flowing. You can generate auditing reports. There are similar settings here for sites, which would be SharePoint. For link, for user software, you can decide whether or not your users are allowed to download the software off of the service here. You can change how often passwords expire, whether your users can access the support community using their IDs from Office 365. You can configure mobile settings and rights management as well. The Service Health dashboard will allow you to see over the last week, or if you click the link here that says View History for the past 30 days, you can see how healthy the service has been. So if there has been a known outage, you can drill down and see what the outage was, whether it was an interruption or if the service is being recovered or whether it's now back up and running. There's also an RSS feed, so if you want to subscribe to updates so that you can be notified when there's a known outage, you can do so here. This is the best place you want your help desk or your IT department to check to see if there is a known outage. We work as fast as possible to update this dashboard when we know something is down. So this is always the first place to check before calling in and saying, hey, my emails are not being delivered here. There are a number of built-in reports that you can access that will allow you to see more information about perhaps information that or emails that have been sent or received, or viruses that have been received or sent. Maybe you have a particular user who has an infected computer and is sending lots of spam and viruses, and here you'd be able to see who's sending them, and so that you can track them down and solve that problem. You can see what type of malware you're receiving. If you have data loss prevention policies, perhaps not allowing your users to send credit card numbers or social security numbers out of the company, you could come here and run a report and see who has sent an email that has triggered one of those rules. If you do run into problems, the support tab here will allow you, first of all, to search for answers in the community. Most of the time, some question that you're having, someone else has already asked that question, it's already been answered. We have an army of support folks that manage the forums and provide answers here. So the first place to check is always in the communities. You can also see top issues in the communities. Issues like how do I reset my password will be answered there. If you have an actual problem or a service down type issue, you can submit a service request directly here. You can track the status. You can send emails back and forth with the support engineer and get answers here. You can also call into technical support if you like talking on the telephone. And if you have a billing or subscription question, these top support folks would answer technical issues, but we have a separate team that handles billing and subscription issues. And then finally, if you have a partner company, and you may be a partner yourself, this is where you would manage any delegated administrators. You can allow a partner company to take over administration of this Office 365 tenant if you do not want to do so yourself. As you saw in the tour of the admin console, one of the things that Office 365 keeps track of is where the user IDs are stored. And in the demo that I gave, the user IDs were stored in the cloud. Specifically, they were stored in Windows Azure Active Directory. This is the scenario we would typically see with a small business. If you're a dentist office with 5 users, you probably have not invested in a local server with Active Directory, and you're probably not keeping your identities on premises. So for many small business users, you will typically just create identities in the cloud, assign them email, assign them access to the services, and they'll be off and running. Be very happy about that. Nothing to maintain on premises. Once the company gets a little bit larger and has probably invested in setting up Active Directory over the years, maybe has a few hundred users set up on premises, and they handle logins and all the directory services provided by Active Directory, you typically don't want to reinvent that wheel and recreate all of those users in the cloud. So the solution that we recommend for those customers, and this is what probably most customers are running today, is to use DirSync, so that you can synchronize the users from the on-premises Active Directory up to Windows Azure Active Directory. So you have the same user with cloud services that may be provided on-premises. And this is typically what we see, again, for most customers today. The third option, which is a little bit more difficult to configure, but which allows your users to have single sign-on. So they sign on to their workstation in the morning. They automatically have access to the services without needing to put their password in yet again, and you control that authorization. So you have an ADFS server that you set up, you maintain. It handles the logons for the users, and then it lets Office 365 know, hey, this user is Joe Blow, and they are authorized to use the service. That works in conjunction, again, with the DirSync utility, which synchronizes users from the on-premises Active Directory up to Windows Azure Active Directory. Today, this works in a single forest. In the future, we'll be releasing an update that will allow the synchronization to take place in multiple forest Active Directories, which you'll typically see in very, very large companies. Tying into the different identity scenarios that we just discussed, it's actually possible to have some users who are in the cloud and some users who are on premises. Quite often you would see this scenario with email, where you have some users who are solely up in the cloud, some who are on premises, perhaps for regulatory reasons. Office 365 provides a nice user interface for managing both of those in one screen. So perhaps you want to run all email through the Forefront Online Protection. Well, you still have some of those mailboxes on premises. And again, you're able to view all of these users regardless of where they are in the cloud or on premises, and apply policies and make changes to their settings directly from the service here. Now, diving into the individual component services that make up Office 365, I wanted to start with Link Online. In the past, you may have used the Link client on your Windows 7 or your Windows 8 PC. It's been available for Macs for a few years now. But if you've now moved on to a Windows 8 tablet, as I hope you have, there is a Link Windows Store app that you can use to connect to Link. You can do your instant messaging, you can join and connect to conference calls, and this is designed very much to be a touch-first experience. If you are running an iOS device or an Android device, there are also Link clients available for you. As we discussed earlier, one of the biggest challenges for a remote workforce is to hold meetings, especially productive meetings, together. Link in Office 365 has solved this problem by adding multi-party HD video conferencing, where every participant can interact with everybody else on the meeting in a very lively manner. Plus, with the ability to share your screen, may it be a specific document, presentation, or your entire desktop, users can convey their point clearly to the audience of the meeting. The new link in Office 365 now also supports creating and sharing OneNote meeting notes live during the meeting. This makes it easier for the meeting organizer to manage the meeting, share the agenda, collect notes, and quickly share them with all of the participants via SkyDrive as soon as the meeting is done. A few of the new Link Online capabilities are present on the slide here. Back on July 9th, we launched the ability Link to Phone, where you can call directly from Link to and from the public switch telephone network. This is currently only available in the US and UK and does not provide PBX features. The new Link Online also adds the reporting center, which we showed you during the demo, which is one place for reporting and status on link calls. So if you want to see the number of maybe poor quality calls or dropped calls so that you can do some troubleshooting, maybe someone has a poor network connection, you do that from the Link Reporting Center. This has a subset of the reports that are available via the Link Monitoring Server. You also have access to Remote PowerShell so that you can provision users via Office 365 and assign them Link licenses and assign policy settings. And we also have the ability to do a hybrid deployment between Link Online and Link On-Premises. There's a slight difference between the two options there. With a split domain, you also need an on-premises Link server, and the users are split between Link Server and Link Online. So if you have users who require the full voice feature set, you would keep them on-premises on the Link server there. If there are other users in your company that just need some of the online features, such as the instant messaging and chat and whatnot, you do that with a split domain. A hybrid voice also requires an on-premises Link server. The users are they live up on the Link Online server, and then the Link Online voice feature set is available for all users. However, you can still do some of the integration on premises if you have a PBX or you need to work with your publicly switched telephone network. Switching over to SharePoint Online, I'd like to cover a few of my favorite new features. The first is site mailboxes. Typically, your email and your documents are kept in two unique and separate repositories. You have your emails stored in Exchange and Outlook, and then you have your team documents stored in your SharePoint site. And sometimes trying to keep the two together can be a challenge. So, in the new Office 365, the site mailbox allows you to create a mailbox specific to a project or a team site, and any emails sent to or from that email address, as you can see, which is specific to the site mailbox and the site, are put into the site mailbox, which is then made available to any team member who has access to that site. The documents from that site then surface in the same place. So if you go to the site mailbox within Outlook, all of the documents that you have up on the site are available to you through the same user interface, whether you are in Outlook or you're up on the SharePoint team site. Office web apps have been improved in the new Office 365. They allow you to do more reviewing and commenting, so you can actually see who is working on a document at the same time as you are doing so. And it's actually supported across all major browsers. So if you want to do co-editing and you have a coworker who's in the design department, maybe running a Mac with Chrome, they can access the same shared document at the same time as you are and work on that with you. Now, social features have been integrated very deeply into the new SharePoint Online. So feeds are pervasive across the service. You can post to the public news feed at any time, and then anyone who has access in your company can see what you posted. Or you can post directly to a team site and share some information just with the people that may be working with you on a particular project. You can have conversations. They're threaded. People can reply, and you can see who has replied to whom on a given thread. You can mention people. Just like on Twitter, you can have hashtags and @mentions. You can have activities and like items, and all of this is shown and tracked. You can follow people and be notified if a particular person has made an update, or if there's been an update on a team site, or if a document's been updated. All through the various features that have been integrated into the social capabilities of Office 365. Project sites enable people in an organization to effectively collaborate on lightweight projects. Project managers can quickly get a sense of what's going on in their project, and team members can quickly see how their work fits into the overall context. Project sites also enable teams to access and share relevant files, documents, and communication. A project site provides the following: a project summary web part, a visual timeline of the project's tasks, a project task schedule, a library for storing relevant project documents, a notebook for quickly capturing and organizing information about the project, a shared calendar for team events. And when SharePoint is connected to Exchange, a project site can also include the site mailbox that we talked about earlier for unified communication about the project as it progresses. When a project site is part of a site collection that is associated with Project Online, assuming you've purchased the licenses to that, it can also be used to capture issues, risks, and deliverables. The tasks list on the project site, or on a team site, can be added to Project Web App for more robust project management functionality. People who need to see or work with the content on your team site or SharePoint Online site, but who don't have user accounts for your SharePoint Online environment, are considered external users. External users might be vendors or customers. You can quickly and securely give external users access to either your team site or SharePoint Online subsites by sending them an invitation through mail. And now to discuss the new features of the new Exchange Online. Continuing with simplified administration, IT admins can set up anti-malware and anti-spam policies for the entire organization via a few clicks. For business, legal, or regulatory reasons, you may have to retain email messages sent to and from users in your organization, or you may want to remove email that you aren't required to retain. Messaging records management, the records management technology in Exchange Online, enables you to control how long to keep items in users' mailboxes and define what action to take on items that have reached a certain age. Administrators can enable mobile access and mobile access policies for users from the integrated Exchange admin console. Exchange supports a comprehensive mobile experience delivered by Exchange ActiveSync, which provides greater control over device access with policy support and allow, block, and quarantine lists, including exceptions down to the individual user level. There's no need to purchase or manage a separate system or buy additional licenses for mobile access. It's all included with Exchange Online. The last component of the Office 365 suite that I wanted to cover today is the new Office 365 Professional Plus. Office 365 Pro Plus is your new Office delivered quickly to all of your Windows devices. Office 365 Pro Plus includes Word, PowerPoint, Excel, Outlook, OneNote, Access, Publisher, and Link. A very fast streaming installation is allowed on up to 5 computers per user, where it will then run side by side with your existing Office programs. It integrates with any existing in-house email or collaboration solutions you may have that were designed for older versions of Office. Your settings stay with you when you move to a different computer, and you can deploy it flexibly. You can use the cloud or your own deployment infrastructure. Here, you have an example of a single machine running both Word 2013 and Word 2003. This is great for a number of reasons. It means you can deploy and standardize everyone in the company with the new Office, but still allow, say, your finance department to open and use budgeting Excel files with macros built in that they've been using for years. This will give them time to test the new Excel before completely moving off of Office 2003, which is coming to end of support in April of 2014. Deploying Office in the past has always been time-consuming, but now you can deploy Office on desktops quickly and effortlessly by streaming the full-featured Office desktop applications directly from Office 365. It's so simple that users can do it themselves by simply clicking on Install. This is a groundbreaking technology because rather than taking 30 minutes to download the MSI file, the Microsoft installer, and then another 20 to 30 minutes to install Office, with click-to-run technology, Office is ready within moments, as quick as seconds with a fast internet connection, of you clicking Install. Office stays on the machine so users can go offline once it's been installed. So now that you know the new features of Office 365, how can your customers purchase it? The various Office 365 offerings that we sell are aligned to the different market segments. Office 365 Home Premium is just the client software. It can be sold as a packaged retail product at a store like Best Buy, or it can be purchased direct from the Microsoft Store. There's also a university version, which is the same, but at a reduced price for students. Please be aware that the Home Premium version of Office 365 does not include any of the server products or services, and it comes with non-commercial user rights, so a Home Premium client cannot be used in a business. Stepping up from that, small business is really targeted for just up to 10 users. There's a hard cap of 25, so if you're going to be the next Microsoft and have 100,000 employees in the next few years, you don't want to start off with a small business SKU because you cannot upgrade to one of the larger SKUs. But no IT is required, very simple, available in a number of different licensing formats. Mid-sized business and enterprise are the next steps up. Mid-sized is actually new in the new Office 365, and you may see some of these referenced by what type of SKU it is. So small business are typically called a P SKU. Mid-sized business is an M SKU. Enterprise is an E SKU. So you might see an E3 plan or an E4 plan, and that just discusses what types of capabilities are available, whether it comes with enterprise voice or comes with archiving, things like that. The government SKUs are specifically for the government, so the data within a government tenant is isolated to that. Some governments have regulations that don't allow them to commingle their data with other tenants. So there are some actual physically separated services available to governments. And then education, which you will sometimes see listed as an A SKU for academic, is very similar to the enterprise SKUs, but is specifically targeted at colleges and has a much less expensive price for that reason. Today in particular, we will talk about the three in the middle, which is mostly where our partners will be selling licenses. For small businesses, we offer two Office 365 plans. Both of them are very similar in that they both have cloud-based email, a 25 gigabyte mailbox. They allow for shared calendar, contact management, the ability to host online meetings with HD video conferencing, etc. The primary difference between the two is that Office 365 Small Business Premium includes the Office desktop apps, the Office Professional Plus, which allows, as we've said earlier, the ability to install all of the Office applications on up to 5 PCs or Macs for a single user. The one caveat to be aware of for the small business customers is, again, you are limited to having up to 10 users with any of the small business SKUs. One thing that some small businesses do, as opposed to buying the small business P SKUs, is that they will sign up just for Exchange Online. Maybe they don't need some of the collaboration or the video conferencing, they just need email. So some small businesses will sign up for just Exchange Online. New in the current release of Office 365 is Office 365 for mid-sized businesses. Now the mid-sized customer usually has IT generalists on their staff as opposed to having specialists in Exchange and specialists in SharePoint. They want enterprise quality solutions, but typically they're a little bit more value focused when it comes to cost, and the size of the customer, as we see the mid-size business, is usually between 10 and 250 users. Office 365 for mid-size business is capped at 300 users, but it has all of the functionality of the enterprise E1 SKU, so all of the email and document sharing and link, and it adds the Office as a subscription. So the customer is able to use the Office 365 Professional Plus. Office 365 Enterprise has the best of the capabilities that Microsoft offers for Office 365. It's typically used by companies with more than 250 users, and they want everything that's in the mid-size business plan, but plus some of the advanced enterprise services such as archiving, legal hold, e-discovery, advanced business intelligence. But they also have access to the advanced admin portal so that they can do push deployments of Office Client instead of having their employees pull down the installer and run it. It allows them to do hybrid deployments, to do that synchronization with Active Directory that we spoke about earlier. Yet another slide where you can go ahead and pause the video if you want to dive into the specifics of everything that's up here, but this just allows you to see at a glance really what the differences are between the small business premium SKUs, the mid-size business, and then the enterprise E3 SKUs, as well as the cost per user per month at the bottom of the slide there. I wanted to close today by covering some of the cloud partner features and programs. If you're a Microsoft partner, there are two primary programs that you can join. The first is Cloud Essentials, which is everything that you need to do to be able to sell Office 365. And once you have a few deployments under your belt, you can actually qualify for Cloud Accelerate, where you'll get some additional resources to help take your cloud practice to the next level. So you'll get more internal use rights so that you can be running Office 365 within your own environment for free. You get some additional sales and deployment incentives and technical support. So here's that popular table. As a Cloud Essentials user, you get 25 seats of Office 365. If you're in Cloud Accelerate, you actually get 250 seats of both Office 365 and CRM Online, and 100 seats of Windows Intune so that you can manage your actual Windows PCs and your phones and your iOS devices out there. There's training available for both types of partners up on the Partner Learning Center. As a Cloud Essentials partner, you get some marketing kits. You get listed in the Pinpoint Online marketplace, so customers can find a partner who within their area who can help them with a deployment. You get priority listing in the Pinpoint marketplace if you're a Cloud Accelerate partner, and a special badge and a press release. There are free online technical communities that are specifically designed for partners, also available on the partner portal. If you're a Cloud Accelerate partner, you get 5 advisory hours with the partner technical consultant team. Both get access to the delegated administration and partner dashboard to allow you to offer trials to potential customers and then to manage their accounts once they have signed up. You get paid, of course, for signing customers up, whether you're Cloud Essentials or Cloud Accelerate. If you're Cloud Accelerate, once you've deployed to at least 3 customers and sold 150 seats, there are actually additional accelerators allowing you to earn more money on your sales above those 3 customers and 150 seats. To learn more about the Cloud Partner Programs, the website that you would want to visit is simply microsoftcloudpartner.com, which will take you to the page that you see up here, which will walk you through some of those benefits that I just told you about with the internal use licenses, the ability to manage customer accounts, listings in the Microsoft Pinpoint Marketplace, etc. here. If you have not already signed up, it is very, very quick, very simple to do. You click on the link right after Not a Cloud Partner. You agree to the MOSPA, which is the Microsoft Online Services Provider Agreement. Fill in a little bit of information and you'll be signed up. You'll also at the same time be able to sign up for your, once that's completed, you'll be able to sign up for your partner tenant with your internal use rights for Office 365. So I've already done so and logged into the tenant here already. Actually, let me go to where you would normally be on the front page. Same dashboard that we saw before. You can see the health of the service. I can change my service settings, my service health, go see reports. Under licensing, since this is a partner, it's an Office 365 Enterprise E3 trial that will not expire for another year, and I have 250 user licenses at no cost. And I can take these and I can assign them to anyone that I want to. But up at the top in the ribbon here, normally you would see your Outlook and Calendar and Newsfeed and SkyDrive and Admin if you're an admin of the tenant. There's one more here, which is Partner, which is going to have your special partner things that you can do here. The Find and Assist, if you have already been marked as a delegated admin for a customer, here's where you would search for the domain or for a particular user. You can find them and assist them, perhaps changing their password. I don't have any customers set up here, so I won't be able to demonstrate that. But this is also where you would be able to send trial invitations, purchase offers, or offer delegated administration. Perhaps you've already sold your customer on Office 365. They've somehow purchased it through a distributor, and you now want to offer that delegated administration to them. That's what you do here. So the process on all three of these is basically the same. So I'll just walk through one of them. If you want to do a trial invitation, you click the link here, and you can choose what location the customer is in, because the available services may differ slightly depending on where the customer is. In the United States, lots of options. If we were to go to, I'm not sure, we'll try one. Belarus has slightly fewer. There's something they don't have available. We'll switch back to the United States here. And say we want to offer a trial for the Office 365 Enterprise E3. That's usually one that I recommend because that allows people to try out all of the services. If it turns out when they go to purchase that they need something smaller, they can do so. But this allows them to try everything out. You can check the box that says include authorization for delegated administration, which is usually a good idea if you want your customer to allow you to administer their instance of Office 365. And when you click Next, it will pull up an email with a customized link, and this is not specific to a particular customer. You can actually send it out to as many customers as you want. The link is customized to you, and this will offer, as you can see, 25 user licenses to that customer for the length of the trial. And then it also provides your email address and phone number, but this is all text, so you can copy it and paste it into an email. If you want to add your logo and do other things, you can do that. Hit Finish, and it will, once you've sent that off to your customers, they'll be able to sign up for the trial, specify you as the partner of record if they do buy the service, and then you can start collecting royalties every month on the service that you have sold to them. And with that, we've reached the end of a whirlwind tour of the new Office 365. If you have any questions or need help on advisory or have any sorts of pre-sales requests, you can visit our partner portal at the address up on the screen, aka.ms/mpn support, or you can go ahead and send us an email at askpts@microsoft.com. If you are a Silver partner, you have 20 hours of advisory support with a partner technical consultant. If you are a Gold partner, you have 50 hours to do customized one-on-one training, to do a design review of something that you're doing. Perhaps you haven't ever deployed Link Online before and you have some questions about how that works or are looking for some best practices. So we have a team of consultants worldwide in local language available to help you out via that web address or via the email. You can also visit our online support communities, which are specific to partners. They're locked down, so you have to log in with your partner login, the same one that you access the partner portal with. And then we have a team of support engineers that can help you out with any break-fix questions that you may have on Office 365 or on any of our on-premises products. With that, I hope this was helpful and have a great day.